and welcome in to our broadcast tonight. We have our 6 o'clock third place game. It's Bishop Chatard versus Burris. Burris lost in round one against Muncie Central 46-30. Bishop Chatard just at 12 o'clock lost against Greenfield Central in a nail biter 50-49. Came down to the last shot, but first I'm going to hand it off to Drew to kind of recap what we saw in that Burris-Muncie Central game. Go ahead, Drew.
So definitely the first half for the Burris Central game was a very close one. I think it was tied at 21 apiece. So and we've seen Burris doing pretty much all that they have been the last few games. Coming in with a 4-game win streak. We've seen Colin McBride doing what he's been doing, knocking down a couple shots. Bryce knocking down a few shots. And he also went down with an injury. That first quarter came back, knocked down a couple shots. And Jason Turmel coming off the bench, he was very big for the hustle factor for Burris. And really just all around, like everybody was playing really good that first half. But second half, they slowed down. They scored just a few points there that second half. And Central's offense really got going. They caused a lot of turnovers. So something to look forward to tonight for Burris is to keep playing how they did in that first half, because they had the momentum going that first half, as they just lost it there that second half. So you got to find a way to play like you did that first half, the first game, and play it throughout. The rebounding was another big factor for Burris, as that first half they were usually they held Central pretty well on the offensive glass, but that second half we've seen a ton of those second chance points, and that's really what got Central to take a lead there. So as Burris, you got to find a way to not allow so many offensive rebounds, because we could see that it cost a team a game. So definitely want to look forward to that for Burris.
And Bishop Chatard, again, coming off of the loss to Greenfield Central 50-49. That game was really close. Bishop Chatard was led by Ethan Roseman, had 17 points leading the way for the Trojans, had a three-pointer as well. Right behind him, the 6'4" forward, Robert Davidson, had 15 points. So two guys on the Trojans roster who can really prove to be a threat for the Owls here tonight, and especially Robert Davidson, who's 6'4". We talked about it in the Owls' first game. Burris has kind of struggled this year with some of the opponent's height and rebounding the basketball effectively on the defensive end, and that's not going to get any easier, because in that second game we saw Robert Davidson just able to cut to the rim with ease, get putbacks for days. Again, ended with 15 points in that game, and this one is going to come down to the tough play inside. Bishop Chatard's game plan, most of the game was attacking the basket most of the time, most of their scoring coming from inside the paint. And so, as we get ready here for starting lineups, we're going to take a quick little break. As they do that here, we will be right back for tip-off. So starting lineups here are up, and Burris going with a completely different lineup than we saw in this first game due to the injury to Bryce Carnes in that first game. We're seeing Trammell out there and Tyler Bennett. We saw Bennett, I believe it was against Southern Wells. He was very effective coming off the bench. One of the guys for Burris who can pull down some rebounds when they need it, and they're definitely going to need it today with such a talented forward on the Trojans in Davidson. Trojans control the ball first. We are underway for the third place game. Bishop Chatard going underneath, and pass knocked out of bounds by Donahue. Asher is the Owls' leading rebounder, averages around 7 rebounds a night. The inbound over to Roseman. Over now to Davidson. Now to Lewis, top of the key. Now Davidson pulls up from 3-point range. Can't get it to fall too long. The Owls will get possession. And that's something we saw in that second game as well. Robert Davidson, very talented, tall guy for Bishop Chatard, able to also knock down the 3 ball. He made one of them in the second half of that game, as Bishop Chatard lost in a nail-biting fashion just by 1 point. Here's Carter Fisher. Over to McBride, deep 3-point from top of the key, can't go. Rebound is pulled down by Roseman. Inside now to Roseman, now to the corner. 3-point shot is up and no good, and rebounded by Burris. Saw Bishop Chatard really attacking the basket last game, now starting to take more 3-point shots this time around. As Carter Fisher pulls up from way downtown, knocks down the 3-pointer. Carter Fisher gets the Owls underway. The deep 3-point ball, taking the early lead 3-0. Davidson now on the wing. Over in the corner, 3-point shot is up, heavily contested and no good. Rebound tapped out, and what a save to get the second chance opportunity, but that doesn't fall either. Donahue pulls down the rebound. McBride goes underneath to Donahue, he kicks it back out. Another 3-point try from McBride is no good. Rebound hauled in by Knapp. Here's Knapp now driving inside, has it taken away. Donahue comes down with it.
Versus defense has looked pretty strong so far tonight.
Forcing quite a few turnovers here in this early first quarter as they turn it over here. Fast break score for Robert Davidson. He's been very effective in transition. Here's Fisher now off the inbound. Here's Fisher on the logo over to McBride, now goes underneath to Bennett. Bennett goes out, back out to Fisher. McBride resets for the Owls here. Passes over to Minich. Tries to go underneath to Donahue, but it's taken away. Fast break now for the Trojans, and that's Roseman who's able to score in transition. Here's Fisher. Fisher goes underneath to Bennett on the free throw line. Now to Minich. Open shot, mid-ranger from Donahue. He doesn't miss it. Asher is on the board now for the Owls. Jump out to a 5-4 lead. The Trojans try to answer back here, passing around the wing. Now Davidson drives inside, able to use the strength to go inside. We saw that a lot in the earlier game for the Trojans. Very versatile player. He can shoot it from outside and drive inside very effectively. Three-point shot is made by Colin McBride.
The Trojans could not make that mistake, leaving Colin McBride out of all people wide open.
Just last game, he had 4 3-pointers, 12 points. Looking to keep that momentum going for the Owls here. Coleman takes this jumper from the free throw line. McBride pulls down the rebound for the Owls. Colin over to Minich, back to McBride. Now to Fisher. Gets the screen from Donahue. Fisher on the corner, takes the corner three, no good. Rebound by Roseman. On the corner three-point shot for the Trojans here. That's Lewis who knocks it down. Lewis had 2 points in the earlier game. No threes. Already has one here tonight. McBride down to Bennett. Here's McBride on the corner. He's double teamed. Trying to drive inside. Hands it off to Fisher. 2.5 minutes to play here. Owls trail by 1. Here's McBride driving inside. Looking to Bennett now, and this Trojans defense has stood strong here during this possession. Here's the corner attempt from McBride. Takes a roll off the rim and is no good. Here's Davidson. Out to Lewis. Back to Davidson. Back to Lewis now. Over on the opposite side. Three-point attempt here, and nothing but net for Drew Knapp. And this Trojans team really wasn't focusing on the three-point shooting. Most of their shot attempts are coming from behind the three-point line now as of late. Now here's Fisher, hands it off to Donahue. Here's Fisher, spin move inside, can't get it to fall. Nice post moves by Fisher, but he can't finish the play off. And now Trojans in transition take the corner three, no good. Fisher running the court. Here's McBride driving inside, out to Minich. Three-point shot taken and made. There's Timo Minich. It's Timo Minich's third made three-pointer this season. It puts the Owls down just by 1. Now here's Roseman. Contested shot is no good. There's Bennett. And this starting lineup for the Owls is very tall. They're running with Donahue and Bennett down underneath, and both of them are very skilled rebounders. Something that they're going to really need today going up against such a talented forward in Davidson. Under 30 seconds to play here for the Owls. Looking to try to draw some time off the clock as McBride was looking for a play. Has it poked away by Roseman. And a real heads-up play by Ethan Roseman to get the fast break score. Now Fisher driving inside quickly. Off to Bennett. Contested shot from him. No good. Rebound fought for and pulled down by the Trojans. Under 5 seconds to play now. Cross-court pass up to Roseman again. And how about Ethan Roseman, a real heads-up play. Saw McBride looking back to the bench trying to get a play. Able to come up and poke the ball free and get a free 2 points for the Trojans. They lead by 5. And really what we saw there from the Trojans, a lot of three-point attempts, spreading the ball around across many people in there. The Owls also forcing a couple, or giving up a few turnovers there as of late. Owls really have to clean up some of the passing and handling of the ball here going into the second quarter.
Yeah, Burris' offense has looked pretty good except the turnovers, but the turnovers have caused a lot of points here for the Trojans, so definitely got to limit those turnovers to prevent a lot of those fast break points as we saw there those final minute or the final few seconds of the game. So definitely want to look for less turnovers, and then, yeah, you got to get in the passing lanes to prevent those open shots.
And so we wanted to thank our presenting sponsor, Pizza King. Pizza King opened its first location in Muncie, Indiana in 1958, and today we have 56th location and over 1,100 employees across eastern Indiana. Our passion is providing a family atmosphere with exceptional customer service and pizza that is good to the very edge. Pizza King cultivates positive relationships with our employees, customers, and communities while providing the highest quality of products. Again, special thanks to Pizza King. So we get ready here for the second half. Owls trailing by 5, looking to gain some offensive momentum. Had it going there early, but kind of slacked behind as the Trojans defense has been very alert in forcing Owls turnovers. Getting those fast break points has been at ease for them. Here's Fisher driving inside now. Fading jump shot, no good. Looked like there was some contact there on that jump shot, but no call. The Trojans again get the ball right back after the Owls miss. Here's Davidson. And an offensive foul will be called on the Trojans here, it looks like. In fact, a moving screen on Sam Feeney. Believe it or not, early in the second quarter, that's our first foul in this game. Really been a clean game so far. No fouls until that. Here's the three-point shot from Bennett on the wing. Rolls around and a heartbreaker. Took maybe 2 or 3 spins around the rim and just decided to lip out as McBride takes it right back. Fast break for the Owls. Here's Trammell going up with their left hand. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded back by the Trojans.
That's 2 tough breaks for Burris there.
That would have been Bennett's first three-pointer of the season. Here's Davidson now. Driving inside, hop step, passes out. Three-point shot up, no good. And a foul on the loose ball. And that's on number 5 again, Sam Feeney. Only a minute and a half, Sam Feeney has picked up 2 quick fouls. He's going to take a rest on the bench in worry of foul trouble. Timo Minich will return in the game for the Owls. Here's Trammell driving inside, almost had it taken away, and I thought the ball was tipped away, but they're going to whistle him for a travel here as he was driving towards the basket. So another costly Owls turnover, still trailing by 5 here with 6.5 minutes to play in this first half. Ethan Roseman will come into the game for the Trojans. Roseman had 17 points in the Trojans' loss against Greenfield Central earlier today. Colin Guy driving inside, kicks it over to Davidson for 3, and he makes it. It's truly special to watch somebody like Robert Davidson, 6'4". Saw him driving in for a couple scores earlier tonight, but able to get the 3-point shot as the pass almost goes away. Owls regain control. Here's Trammell on the corner, hands it off to McBride, now to Minich. Here's Donahue posting up, kicks it over to Fisher. Fisher will pull up from 3-point range, can't get it to fall. Trojans get another rebound. Trojans have been really effective getting those rebounds on the defensive end. Owls really haven't had that many opportunities to try and get second chance points in this first half. But the Owls on the other end force another turnover. This second quarter, the Owls on defense have forced a couple of turnovers, whether that be on offensive fouls or bad passes out of bounds. Here's McBride open from 3. Pump fakes, hands it off to Minich from the corner. No good. Even though Minich doesn't make it there, I think that's a really smart play by McBride to pump fake the shot and kick it over to Minich. I feel like the Trojans were expecting McBride to just take that shot there, but a good play nonetheless to hand it off to his teammate. Here's a nice play underneath the basket.
That is great vision to find him under a basket like that and a tap pass.
It's Isaac Fisher. McBride kicking it down to Minich. Reverse layup and the and one. What a move by Timo Minich with the reverse move. Looking like Kyrie Irving under the basket there. So a chance to convert the three-point play here from Minich. And his shot is good. On the corner, three-point attempt, no good, but an offensive rebound from the Trojans near the baseline. And pass is taken away. McBride running the court, going up with the right hand, and gets it to fall. Colin has 5 points here, at 12 in the previous game. Pass over to Davidson, he drives inside, able to go up with the right hand, no good through contact. Bennett pulls down the rebound. Owls trail by 5. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Fisher. Posting up inside, tough contact there. Gets his own miss, trying to put it back. And Davidson hauls in the rebound for the Trojans. Fast break now, and Minich, what a play on the defensive end to get the steal. Almost taken right back, and in fact it will be. In the backcourt, the Trojans able to get the ball right back, and now underneath the basket we have a shot made, but I think a foul will be called on the floor there.
Personal foul on 33, Timo Minich, that's his first.
That's on Timo Minich.
Substitutions, 33, Wade McAllister back into the lineup, and 23, Aiden Ortega into the lineup for the Trojans.
Trojans will inbound from the baseline here. Here's Ortega. Ortega again on the wing here, guarded by McBride. Passes over to Roseman. Goes underneath now. Tough play at the rim, and one. That's Drew Van Vliet. That foul will be called on Tyler Bennett. So Van Vliet now the ability to convert his own three-point play. First shot is up and no good. Rebound tapped out and rebounded by McBride. Now a pass up court to Trammell. He goes up with the left hand and is fouled on the play. That's on number 23, Aiden Ortega. So what seemed like nearly a foul-less game in the second quarter, there have been 6 total fouls, both teams, 4 on the Trojans and 2 on the Owls, as Trammell misses the first shot. Second shot also no good, but Donahue down there picks up the rebound. Second chance points are no good. Rebound bobbled and taken down by the Trojans. Now a fast break for Roseman. He goes up with the right hand, can't get it to fall, but another offensive rebound for the Trojans, and a foul will be called on the floor. The Trojans really have been able this past couple of minutes. They've been able to get a lot of their own misses here. So Asher Donahue picks up his first foul of the night. Over to Roseman on the corner. Underneath, tough contested shot, no good. And rebounded by the Owls. McBride near the logo. Driving inside. Now to Minich. Here's McBride on the wing, covered by Roseman. McBride tries to drive inside again. Goes back out. Trammell now goes up and knocks down the shot, but a foul before that called on the floor. Trojans defense here has been spectacular on the interior. That foul will be on Drew Van Vliet, his second foul. Carter Fisher is back into the game for Burris. He had 9 points, almost all of it coming from free throws, had a three-pointer as well. Inbound a little too high for McBride. He regains control but ended up stepping over the half-court line. It's going to be an over and back call. So Trojans regain possession. Their defense has been really stellar here as of late. Here's Roseman now on the wing. Over to Davidson, 2 minutes to play here. As Minich forces the steal over to McBride now. Fast break for the Owls, 2-on-1. Here's Donahue, pump fakes, goes up, has it blocked by Davidson. Now McBride resets for the Owls, and that's Davidson's shot blocking ability coming into effect. Not only a great offensive player, but Bishop Chatard's leading shot blocker as well with 2.4 per game. McBride free throw line shot, can't go. Rebound on the ground. Here's Arteaga now. Minute and a half here in this first half. Trojans are leading by 7. Corner three from Roseman. Goes in, bounces right back out, and loose ball rolls out of bounds. Drew Knapp comes into the game for Bishop Chatard. Knapp has a three-pointer here so far. Here's McBride, nearly loses his dribble and does. Turnover again, costly one for the Owls, as here's another fast break for Bishop Chatard, and it's Davidson who's able to knock it down. Davidson already has 9 points here, nearing that double-figure mark. Here's Bennett, now to McBride, and over to Fisher. McBride open corner three. No good, missed it too long, rebounded by Davidson. Davidson gives it off to Arteaga. And a timeout. So a timeout called by Bishop Chatard, and it's been really stellar defense for them so far. Their interior defense has been really spectacular, not allowing too many points from inside, and I think the Burris offense really has to adapt here, probably get some of their shooters involved, especially Colin McBride. He already has a three-pointer here today and has had 4 just this morning. And so definitely the Owls probably want to look to get their three-point shooting started up here, because once they start getting hot, there's not much that can stop them.
Yeah, we've seen them this season. Their three-point making ability has been off the charts, so definitely want to keep. You definitely want to get them going here, especially in the second half, to try to make a quick comeback and try to pull off with a win tonight.
So out of the break, Bishop Chatard leads by 9 here, 26.5. Under 20 seconds to play here. 10 seconds here. Trojans holding for the last shot, goes inside to Davidson. He goes up, and the reverse layup is good for Davidson. He has 11 points now and is in double figures. And it is halftime now. Before we start our halftime show, we're going to cut it to a quick commercial break here. More from us here for the halftime show right after this.
Pendleton, Farmland to Yorktown, Hartford City to Newcastle, and across East Central Indiana, a four-pronged golden yellow crown can be seen glowing from the street. Pizza King is proud to be celebrating 60 years as your local pizza shop. As Hoosiers, we like our pizza cut in squares, our toppings to the edge, and our feasts to always be royal. In a time when community is more important than ever, we are honored to be part of yours. Visit pizzaking.com to find your hometown Pizza King.
Asher Donahue, junior, 31, center.
Reese Cook, freshman, 15, small forward.
Timo Minnick, junior, 33, forward.
Connor McKibben, senior, 13, forward.
Colin McBride, senior, number 3, point guard.
Carter Fisher, senior, number 25, guard.
Bryce Carnes, senior, number 4, guard.
Jason Jamel, senior, 11, guard.
And so back now after that, it's time for the halftime show for Burris. They trail 27 to 16. A really tough second quarter there for the offense. Bishop Chatard came out there with just a stellar defensive game plan, shutting down the Owls' inside attack. Coming out of this halftime, we're probably going to see the Owls trying to get it done from that three-point line maybe. But it's really going to come down to if the Owls can stop forcing so many turnovers, because Bishop Chatard has gotten a lot of points off of fast breaks, especially from Robert Davidson, who we mentioned has 11 points now and is in double-figure scoring. So what have you kind of seen from Burris's offense here as of late?
Yeah, so far tonight we've seen a lot of turnovers, like you just said. Really, their offense has not been looking too bad. It's just been a lot of turnovers that Bishop Chatard has forced. So definitely got to limit those. And I mean, the shots are going to start falling. They have not really fell so far tonight. So you definitely want to look out for that in the second half. Try to get someone like Colin McBride hot, or Carter Fisher with the mid-range. So definitely just a lot of turnovers there that first half. They got to find a way to clean that up here the second half.
For Bishop Chatard, leading the way for them has been Robert Davidson. He has 11 points here in double figures, as we mentioned. Right behind him is Ethan Roseman with 3 points, Isaac Fisher with 2, and Drew Van Vliet with 2. And I'll tell you what, Robert Davidson has really gotten it going on both sides of the floor, able to get a blocked shot there on one side of the court, hit a three-pointer, and has also been very effective driving the basket on fast breaks. He's just kind of got it all going right now. I was really going to have to focus on this defensive end to slow Davidson down, and he's a very skilled forward, also 6'4", and we talked about before, Burris sometimes struggles with the height a lot in their earlier games this season.
Yeah, and this Trojans team's been playing really fast offensively. They've been moving the ball around really well. We've seen a couple passes, very quick tap pass down low. So, yeah, the Trojans have been playing great offensively, and it's really not just one player that's been going off for them. It's really been the entire team. They've all been really knocking down shots, and just they've been playing great all around, really.
For the Owls, leading the way is Colin McBride with 5 points, also a three-pointer. Carter Fisher has 3 on his three-pointer. Asher Donahue has 2, and Timo Minnick has 3. We saw him get that nice and one in that first quarter, second quarter. He was able to get that reverse layup to fall, get the strong move in the post, and the Owls are definitely going to need more of Minnick's effort. He showcased a lot of his hustle there, fighting for loose balls. And it's very nice to have somebody off the bench that you can rely on, especially as tough of an injury it is to lose Bryce Carnes this game. It's definitely going to be important for some of the guys who fill in for him, that being Trammell and Minnick, to kind of step into that spot. And those are 2 of the guys on the Owls roster who really give 100% effort every night.
Yeah, they have been really playing their roles coming off the bench. We've seen Trammell. I mean, he dives for every single loose ball, and Minnick, he pulls in a lot of rebounds. He's always down there in the paint, so they definitely play their part in this Burris offense and defense.
And, yeah, just really the Owls need to get it going from anywhere on the floor that they can find. We have just under 5 minutes to go until the second half of action comes back. Can Burris come back? We will figure out after this halftime break, and we will be right back for the second half of basketball action here at the Fieldhouse. All right, back for the second half of action. Burris trailing 27-16. Bishop Chatard will start with possession, led by Robert Davidson with 11 points here so far tonight. Here's Roseman now over to the corner. Three-point shot is up, no good, too short, and out of bounds. And still something that we talked about in that first half, Bishop Chatard, their main game plan in the first game, driving inside a lot on a lot of their offensive possessions. This game, they've taken a lot of three-pointers here so far today. As the Owls trying to get some offensive traction here as McBride shoots the three-pointer, and that's a way to start going here. So McBride, a lethal three-point shooter, very hot as of late from the three-point line. He had 4 in the game before this morning for the Owls. And then Drew Knapp answers right back with a three-pointer of his own. He has 2 here so far, 6 points. Now a foul here. Fisher will inbound. Maybe not a foul, just about 7 minutes here in the third quarter as the Owls trail by 11, their largest deficit here so far. Here's Fisher driving inside, kicks it out to McBride on the corner. McBride guarded closely by Roseman, over to Fisher now. Now to Trammell, over to Donahue on the opposite corner. Here's Fisher driving inside, over to Trammell now. Slings it over to McBride. Fisher pulls up from three-point range, no good, left it too short. Offensive rebound by Bennett. Then the long two-pointer by Trammell is no good, and Bennett has shown off his rebounding abilities this past week for the Owls. There's Donahue, the Owls' current leading rebounder, averaging about 7 a game. Here's Trammell on the corner. Over to Fisher here. Down to Donahue. Donahue drives baseline, kicks it over to Trammell, now to McBride, guarded by Roseman. He gets the screen, and now McBride is double-teamed. And the Owls will call a timeout to prevent a turnover. Same lead as we had at halftime. It's 11 as the Trojans lead 30-19 against Burris. 5 minutes, 38 seconds in the third quarter. And same thing, the Owls just not really able to get anything, any open shots, that is, on the offensive side of the glass. And we saw Bennett there able to muscle his way to get an offensive rebound there for the Owls. Really good effort by him, and it's nice to see the duo of Asher Donahue and Tyler Bennett underneath there picking up a lot of rebounds for the Owls. You just saw a replay from Colin McBride making one of his 2 three-pointers here today. Colin has 8 points here as the Owls looking to inbound here. It's going to be McBride. Throws it to the backcourt to Fisher. Here's McBride, contested three-point shot is up, no good, left too long. Now a fast break for the Trojans. Here's Lewis. Here's Roseman. Lobs it up. Oh my goodness. What a play by Davidson. And, well, there's another side of the game that we have seen here today. Catches the alley-oop for the Trojans. How about that? Colin McBride answers right back with a mid-ranger. I was not expecting that from Davidson. I just thought they were going to throw it up to him Maybe use his wingspan to catch it, but no, he throws it down with authority. Bishop Chatard will turn it over. Timo Minnick comes back into the game. Four and a half minutes to play here in the third. Over to Trammell underneath Donahue. And his pass is taken away by Davidson. Up court pass finds Roseman, and he's able to get it through. We saw Ethan Roseman in the Trojans' first game, able to get a lot of fast break scoring. Fisher, deep three-point shot, no good. Fisher pulls down the rebound. That is Isaac Fisher for the Trojans, pulls down the rebound. Here's Lewis, he takes the three-point shot, no good, rebounded by McBride. McBride hands it off to Trammell, now to Fisher. Over contested corner three from McBride, bounces in and out. And then a foul on the loose ball. It's gonna be on Donahue, it looks like. It's Asher's second foul of the night. First foul here in the second half for either team. Corner three-point shot, no good off the back of the rim, rebounded by McBride. Here's Trammell, over to McBride, now to Fisher, top of the key. Over to McBride again. McBride driving inside, fading jump shot, no good, rebounded by Roseman. Roseman running up court, over to the baseline now, slings it across, and the mid-range shot is up and good for Drew Knapp, who's had a really nice night here so far, had no points in the first game, but has 2 three-pointers, and now has 8 total points for the Trojans. Fisher driving inside, and one. Strong move by Carter Fisher to cut to the rim. So Carter Fisher, fouled by Isaac Fisher. Chance to convert the 2-point or 3-point play. Cut the lead down to 12 for the Trojans. Fisher is shooting 83% from the line. He misses this one. Can't convert the 3-point play. Owls trail by 13 points. So there's Knapp again from the corner, and he has had quite a night from the 3-point line. That's 3 three-pointers. 11 points, and he's the second Trojan in double figures. Trojans running that full court press that we've seen work well against the Owls this year. Pass in the backcourt. Fisher gets it right back. 2 minutes to play here in the third. Fisher driving inside, mid-ranger up and no good, but a foul on the shot. That foul is on number 3, Colin Guy. Fisher's first free throw is good. Carter Fisher in the Owls' first game made 6 free throws, got to the line very effectively for the Owls. He goes 2 for 2 this time. Here's Knapp. Over inside, trying to go to Davidson, but it's taken away by McBride. McBride driving inside, kicks it over to the corner to Trammell for three. No good off the front of the rim. Davidson hauls in the rebound for the Trojans. Minute and a half and a pass underneath the basket, but a traveling violation is called.
Substitution for Bishop Chatard, 24, Drew Van Vliet back into the lineup.
Drew Van Vliet coming back in for the Trojans. Here's Fisher driving inside. Tries to pass it over to Minich. He wasn't expecting it. Almost lost it in the backcourt. But the Owls regain control. Here's Fisher. Strong mid-range shot. No good. Then sent back by Drew Van Vliet, who just came into the ball game. On the other end, and one made by Colin Guy. He'll have a chance to convert the three-point play.
He's fouled on the play by Colin McBride. That's his first.
That foul is on Colin McBride, his first foul. Owls' second of the half.
Substitution 21, Isaac Fisher back into the lineup for Davidson.
Isaac Fisher returns for the Trojans. Misses the three-point play opportunity, and the Owls have a minute here with Colin McBride driving in, hands it off, three-point basket, no good from Fisher, but look at Trammell hustling, gets the offensive rebound. Now Fisher driving inside, goes up with the hook shot, no good, and the Trojans pull down the defensive rebound. 35 seconds to play here in the third. Here's Colin Guy. He has 2 points so far. Semir holding the ball here, draining time off the clock here. Under 10 seconds to play here. Here's Semir over to Knapp, now to the corner. Back to Semir, 5 seconds to play. Knapp takes the corner three, has it blocked by Fisher. Great play by him. Full court shot at the buzzer is no good. And the score, the end of the third, is going to be the Trojans leading 41 to the Owls 25. It's really been a great offensive night for the Trojans, led by two double-figure scorers, Robert Davidson and Drew Knapp, who also has 3 three-pointers tonight. And what have you kind of seen from Bishop Chatard's offense there in that third quarter? They really played very well there. So,
yeah, they definitely played really great tonight, as we're seeing a couple replays from their offensive plays. They've been moving the ball around. They've been knocking down several three-pointers, and we even saw an alley-oop dunk. So they've been really fun to watch here, especially the second half so far.
And so we'll take a quick moment here to mention our sponsor, Integrity Fulfillment Services. IFS is a local company with a wide range of clients throughout the United States. We are a value-added company providing services ranging from packaging of materials to a full inspection and audit of materials before they arrive to store shelves. IFS is based in the near downtown area of Muncie and is a proud sponsor of many community events. Owls start out with the ball for the fourth quarter. It'll be Trammell to inbound. Here's Minich going inside to Donahue. Pump fakes, hands it off to Bennett. Bennett nearly losing it and taken away by Arteaga. Pass way too high and out of bounds. Goes into the bleachers. The Owls retain possession here. They trail by 16 points here. Looking for some offensive momentum. Here's Colin, he drives inside, kicks it over to the corner to Donahue for three, and he makes it. Asher Donahue's first three-pointer tonight. Colin Guy tries to skip pass over, and that's the second time in a row that the Trojans have tried to skip it over to the opposite corner, and it flies out of bounds. So Burris starting to chew into the Trojans' lead on some costly turnovers here early in the fourth quarter. That was Asher Donahue's second three-pointer of the season that he just made. Here's Minich driving inside, and a reach-in foul called on Arteaga. It's the Trojans' third team foul. Carter Fisher will return for the Owls here. Carter has 7 points so far here. Inbound to Colin McBride. Here's Fisher off the screen. Goes behind the back, now goes inside. Over to McBride on the corner for three. Puts it in. That's Colin McBride. Gets his third three of the night. Colin McBride has 13 points for the Owls, their leading scorer. Here's Davidson. Draws the double team, hands it off to Roseman. Davidson driving inside, kicks it over to the corner. Now underneath the basket, heavily contested and still able to muscle it in. That's McAllister. Skilled post moves from Wade McAllister. Didn't have any scoring in the first Trojans game, but able to get that one to fall. And then on the other end, I believe that's him who drew the charge as well. So Trammell picks up his first foul. Both teams are at 3 total fouls in the half. 5.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Pass intercepted by Minich. Now a fast break for the Owls. Here's Trammell, and he'll slow it down. Over to Fisher now. Fisher drives inside and will be fouled by Ethan Roseman. That's Roseman's first foul. Pass in the backcourt to McBride. McBride for three, and again McBride strikes from three. That's 4. He had 4 in the first game for the Owls, and Colin McBride is on quite a tear from the three-point line. We saw him get 8 of them a few games ago for the Owls. He's just truly a spectacular player to watch. He's up to I believe 16 points now as there's a foul. That's again on Drayson Trammell. 2 quick fouls. And a timeout called here. Burris decides to talk things over as they have cut the lead for the Trojans down to 9, starting to do a bit better here in this fourth quarter. And what have you thought for Burris's offense so far?
The Burris offense has been pretty slow, I feel, but they have been knocking down shots again with Colin McBride. He's been drilling shots as he normally does. But, yeah, they just got to keep moving the ball around, got to start knocking shots down. There's been a lot of missed shots that they've taken, so just got to limit turnovers, and the shots will eventually start falling.
And a special thank you to Whittinger and Company, founded in 1930 and with offices in Muncie and Fishers. Whittinger and Company has been one of Indiana's leading accounting, tax, and advisory firms for more than 93 years. We're much more than a traditional CPA firm, as we offer a comprehensive set of services to meet the needs of individuals, nonprofit organizations, and corporate clients across Indiana. Just under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Owls cutting the deficit to single digits for the first time since the first half. Looking to get something done here on the defensive end, trying to force a stop here. Burris again was on a 4-game winning streak before the loss to Muncie Central earlier today. They picked up a win against Seton Catholic on Friday. It was homecoming night, absolutely packed in Ball Gym. It was a really nice win for the Owls. As that ball rolls out of bounds off of the Trojans. The Owls forcing a bunch of turnovers here in this fourth quarter and able to score on most of them. That's been really helpful to their comeback here, as we have about 4.5 minutes to play here. Over to Donahue for another one. That's 2 3-pointers tonight. Came into this game only making 1 on the season. He has 2 here tonight. Here's Roseman now, driving inside. Mid-ranger no good. Rebound pulled down by Fisher. This game is starting to get close here with 4 minutes to play. Owls only trailing by 6. This has been a really nice comeback. They trailed by 16 at one point. McBride from 3, and he's fouled on the shot. Colin McBride will go to the line, shoot 3 shots, and could make it potentially a 1-possession game for the Owls. And it's been like that just so quickly that this Owls team has come back into this game.
And this is the momentum you want for Burris, to come out that timeout, hit a 3, and then draw a foul on another 3 and bring this Burris team back into the game.
McBride misses the first of 3. Colin leads the Owls in free throw percentage. He's shooting 85% from the line this season. Second shot is good. Third and final shot on the way, and goes 2 for 3 from the line. Has 18 points in this game right here tonight. Had 12 in the one earlier. Pass inside on the elbow, back out. Now here's Davidson, good defense from Burris. Hand off to Roseman. Now to Semir. Davidson trying to drive inside, and Trammell forces the steal, but a jump ball before that. And look at Trammell's effort there, and that really shows off the hard work that Trammell puts in every day. Really just one of those high-intensity guys on defense that you love to have on the bench, coming off the bench. You know, once some of your starters are getting tired, to have that extra boost to come into the game is very effective for the Owls. Obviously drew the start here tonight after Carnes got injured in that first game here today. And Bishop Chatard will call a timeout, leading by only 4, as they once led, I believe it was around the start of this fourth quarter, they led by 16 at one point. This Owls team has fought really hard to come back into this game, trailing by 4 again. And it's been led by guys like Colin McBride and Asher Donahue. Asher has 2 3-pointers here today. Colin has 4, matching what he had earlier. This Owls team has been on sort of a hot streak on offense, just scoring 72 points against Seton Catholic. No, that was Southern Wells. They scored 72 points against their last game on Friday was against Seton Catholic. They beat them 48-32 on homecoming in front of a packed Burris crowd. And so it'd be really nice to continue that momentum out of this tournament that they brought in. And it's been very effective for some of their guys that you don't really hear too much about. You know, they aren't ones that really fill up the stat sheet as much, especially Asher. He's one of those guys who's more effective on that defensive end and rebounding the ball, but he's really gotten able to get open for some three-pointers, and that's been really effective for the Owls here so far.
Yeah, Asher's threes have been very big for the Owls offense as, like you said, we've seen only 1 3 before tonight, so he's definitely played his role offensively. And, yeah, again, final few minutes, look to see Colin McBride get hot, as this is the time he usually does.
Bishop Chatard trying to hold on to this lead. So there's a foul underneath, maybe on, looks like it's going to be on Donahue. It's his third foul. Inbound into Davidson. Here's Semir double teamed, kicks it over to Davidson on the wing. 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Trojans trying to take time off the clock here. Here's Roseman driving inside. Passes over to the wing. Inside again, back out to Roseman. Trojans reset. Roseman kicks it over to Semir. Semir driving inside, back out to the wing. And Trojans doing a really nice job of wasting some time off the clock as the Owls finally foul to stop the clock. That's Burris' 6th foul, 1 away from entering the bonus. Trojans inbounding here into the backcourt. Here's Semir, hands it off to Davidson, the Trojans' leading scorer this season. Drives all the way inside in a tough foul at the rim. It's going to look like it's going to be a blocking foul on Minich. Or no, that's actually going to be on Donahue. So Asher's starting to get into foul trouble here. He has 4 fouls, 1 away from fouling out. Davidson at the line here. Misses the first one.
And Minich putting his body on the line, getting in front of that, trying to draw a charge and take a tough hit.
And 0 for 2 from the line from Davidson. He's had a really rough night from the free throw line. Both games, in fact, shoots around 77% from the free throw line, leads his team. Just not able to get it today in both these games as the rebound is tipped out of bounds. And it's going to go to the Trojans.
That's Trammell with a great hustle, as we've seen pretty much all season long.
Inbound to Roseman, back over to Semir. Here's Semir. Over to Roseman now. Looking to drive inside Euros and goes to the basket, knocks it down, but a foul before that on the floor. It's going to be on number 11, Jason Trammell, his 3rd foul. And because of that foul, Trojans are now in the bonus. Roseman will shoot 1 and 1. Ethan Roseman shoots 69% from the free throw line. Makes the first one. Roseman has 8 points tonight. Minute and 36 seconds left here for the Owls to try and complete their comeback that they've started here. So the rebound is tapped out of bounds. and it will go to the Owls. Here's McBride, kicks it over to Fisher. Over to Donahue from the corner. That's been his hot spot, and he knocks it down again. That's 3 3-pointers for Asher Donahue. He came into this game with only one. He's putting on a show from that corner spot, all 3 of them coming from that corner. Now underneath the basket and an easy lay-in on the other end for Wade McAllister. Here's Donahue over to Fisher now. Fisher driving all the way to the rim and puts it in. Teams going back and forth here in scoring. And Burris has all of a sudden cut it down to only a 2-point lead. It's a 1-possession game with 59 seconds on the clock. And this Burris comeback has been really fueled by Asher Donahue shooting those corner threes. He's been absolutely spectacular, but we also got to look out for those fouls. He has 4 of them here so far, so it would be really tough to see him foul out here after making such a presence in this 4th quarter here so far.
And we've seen early in the year with Asher Donahue, when he gets into foul trouble, especially late in the game, we see when his presence is not on the field, or court, my bad, it takes a big toll for Burris. So definitely do not want to see him foul out, especially being down only 2 points here with just under a minute left and with how he's been drilling shots. So smart by Coach Donahue to bench him here on this defensive possession.
Some confusion with who's going to inbound the ball here for the Trojans. It's going to end up being Lewis who gives it over to Davidson. Burris running that full court press. And a foul to stop the clock quickly. And it's going to come down to this here. Davidson has struggled mightily from the free throw line here today. Davidson shoots 77% from the line. He went 0 for 2 in his last trip. He can make it a 2-possession game if he makes both of them here. First one is good, makes it a 3-point game. That's a big shot there for the Trojans. Second shot is no good off the back of the rim, and McBride pulls in the rebound, so still a 1-possession game with 50 seconds to go here. McBride calls the screen. He's double teamed here over to Fisher now on the corner. Here's Donahue from 3. No, just missed it, but an offensive rebound from Minich. Now the 3 from Fisher is no good. And the Trojans get the rebound. Really tough play. 2 opportunities for the Owls to tie it there. Just not able to find the basket. 2 really good shots there. You can't be upset with how the Owls played that right there. 2 really high percentage shots from both Donahue and Fisher. That would have been Asher's 4th 3-pointer here tonight. But instead, it's going to be McAllister who goes to the line. First shot is no good. McAllister's second shot is no good. And then a loose ball foul, and no, actually instead it's going to be a timeout. And the Owls call a 30-second timeout here real quick. We're going to go over our last sponsor here, Crestview Golf Club. Crestview Golf Club and Milligan's Clubhouse Grill have proudly served the Muncie community since 1958. Join us for a round of golf or your favorite food and beverage 7 days a week. Find us on Facebook or Instagram. Special thank you to Crestview Golf Club. Owls come out the huddle looking to complete a massive comeback here in the 3rd place game of the City of Champions tournament. They trailed at one point by 16. Now only trail by 3. Trojans will inbound. It's going to be Lewis. And it's big for the Owls here. They really need to try to enforce a stop here on the end, get the ball right back. McBride will foul to stop the clock at 25.3. Roseman will shoot 2 as the Trojans are now in the double bonus. First shot is no good. Still a 1-possession game here for the Owls. Roseman the chance to make it a 2-possession game. His second shot is good. He makes it 2-possession game, and the Owls really need to get a quick score here. Over to Donahue, back to Fisher. Fisher drives inside, and the quick mid-range shot rolls in. A very smart shot from Carter Fisher. And the Trojans will call a timeout here with 13.5 on the clock. They lead by only 2 points. And that was a really nice shot by Carter Fisher, really high percentage to get to the paint and just take a quick floater. That's really what the Owls needed, just something to fall really quickly. And now what it comes down to is this Owls defense. If they can force a stop here, get a turnover, that would be huge. They could end up tying this game or even taking the lead for the first time since the start of this game.
Yeah, turnover is best case scenario for Burris, as if not, then most likely go into the free throw line, which they are in the double bonus. So that allows 2 shots for the Trojans. And they pulled in a very huge offensive rebound a couple free throws ago, as they gave them another chance for some more free throws. So again, like you said, definitely want to get a turnover here, but if not, you want to foul as quickly as possible and get down the court as quickly as possible and pull a 3, as you have a couple people that are hot. Asher Donahue with 3 tonight, McBride with several, and Carter Fisher could knock one down too. So definitely want to move the ball quick though.
Just 13.5 seconds on the clock here. Trojans have to move up the entirety of the court. The Owls will run the full court press here. Minich guarding the inbounder. They get it over to Davidson, who again, he has struggled here from the line. As of late, he went 0 for 2 and then 1 for 2 in his trips to the line so far here in this fourth quarter. Carter Fisher now has 4 fouls, 1 away from fouling out here. First shot from Davidson, no good, misses it, and that keeps the Owls alive here with 12.4. No matter if he makes it or misses it, it'll be a 1-possession game here for the Owls.
That's a huge miss for Burris.
One more shot here for Davidson. Second shot is up, and no good. He missed this one too. The Owls only trail by 2, have the chance to tie or take the lead. Under 10 seconds to play here now. 5 seconds to go. Here's McBride. He pulls up from 3-point range. No good, missed it short. And the Trojans are going to dribble out time. Just a really tough last shot there, as that's probably not what the Owls really wanted there. A heavily contested 3. And the Owls are going to fall here 48-46. Just a tough all-around game for the Owls, but they really fought their way to try and come back there late in that fourth quarter. A really nice comeback attempt. We saw them trailing by 16. They trailed most of the game and nearly came back there, only losing by 2. And I really did not expect what we saw here today from that game. You know, I thought it was going to kind of, Bishop Chatard out of the halftime break would kind of control the pace like how they had been. But the Owls really started getting it going. How we talked about during the halftime show, you know, the Owls really weren't able to get it going from inside the paint. You know, they started to adapt and nail the 3-point shots, most notably Asher Donahue, who you just saw a clip of nailing one of his 3 corner 3-pointers. Just a really good, solid fourth quarter from the Owls. What did you see from the Owls there in that fourth quarter, their offense?
Yeah, their offense was really great. They did not have as many turnovers as they did that first half. And again, like you said, they started knocking down their shots, and that really got them into this game. And it got them right back to where they wanted with a 1-possession game coming down to the final seconds. But again, you've got to look at this game as everybody played great, especially there that second half. especially without Connor McKibben or Bryce Carnes. Those are two big roles in the Burris team that was not on the floor the entire game. So it was great to see a lot of that Burris bench to pick it up and really step up, especially that second half, like we said. So it was a tough loss, but definitely something to keep your head high of looking forward to their next games.
Colin McBride led the way for the Owls with 18 points, 4 3-pointers. Right behind him was Asher Donahue, had 14 points and a few three-point shots as well. Just a really good game from Donahue, who came into this game again and only making 1 3-pointer on the season, made 3 here tonight. And yeah, Asher had 14 points. Carter Fisher had 11 and a 3-pointer. Timo Minich had 5. So a good all-around game from this Owls team, especially coming into this game with a completely almost brand new starting lineup. It's hard to do that, you know. You have the chemistry that these 5 guys that we usually see on the court with the Owls. They have such a special bond with each other, but I think the Owls played just fine for starting some new guys, you know, kind of a spot start for a couple of guys. Not really expecting what was going to happen there. So good effort from the Owls there. And for the Trojans, what did you kind of see from the Trojans there? Especially the first half, they really controlled the pace of play, but started to fall behind there in that second half, mostly because Burris's offense really woke up there. But, you know, Bishop Chatard started being a little bit more careless with the ball, and the Owls defense took advantage of that a majority of the time.
Yeah, they had a lot of turnovers there that second half, and it was just Burris's half really. Sides changed really over halftime, but they definitely got the shots that they needed for sure. When it came down to it, they got knocked down a couple shots, drawed a lot of fouls too. They got them into the double bonus there at the end, so that was huge for them. And really, it kind of got a little scary there towards the last few minutes as they started missing a lot of free throws. That was really big for Burris, but again, they just came out on top to just do what they needed. So it was a big win for them.
Leading the Trojans in scoring was Davidson with 14 points, a 3-pointer. Then Knapp had 10 points with 3 3-pointers. Roseman had 9 points. McAllister had 4. Lewis had 3. Colin Guy had 2. Fisher had 2. That's Isaac Fisher, who had 2. And Drew Van Vliet had 2. So really good half of basketball starting out for the Trojans. Kind of fell behind there in that fourth quarter. And so with that, that wraps up this game. A real nail-biter here as the Owls fight back late. They lose this one 48-46 on a really close game here. So that's all from us from this game. Stay tuned for our championship game coming right up after this. You're listening to the City of Champions YouTube channel. Welcome into the final game of the long City of Champions event tonight. We have the championship game between Muncie Central and Greenfield Central. The two Centrals battling up against each other. Greenfield Central coming in today, a top offense. And it's going to be a tall task for Muncie Central to defend some of the guys that we saw. We saw earlier today, get it right here, Dylan Moles. He had 18 points for Greenfield Central earlier today with 2 threes. Big task for the Central defense to cover him. Was able to light up Bishop Chatard at 12 o'clock earlier today. Greenfield Central starting out with possession. Quick three-point shot from the wing and drains it. That's Braylon Mullins who gets it started for the Cougars. Cougars come into this game after winning the one at 12 o'clock. They're on an 11-game win streak. Just have been absolutely on fire as of late. Looking to increase that to 12 games here tonight and also win this tournament. Lob up to Harris, catches it, but a loose ball falls out of bounds. And as there's a dead ball, wanted to shout out real quick to everybody here behind the scenes working so hard from Burris Broadcast. It's been an all-day effort from everybody here and everybody working so hard today. It's been a great day of basketball. We hope you all have enjoyed it as well. Quick 3-0 lead for Greenfield Central. Another three-point try from the corner rattles home. That's Tyler Kirkhoff. We saw him make 4 3-pointers earlier at 12 today. Already has his first. Greenfield Central jumps out to a 6-0 lead on a 3-pointer from Braylon Mullins and a 3 from Tyler Kirkhoff. Here's Olam, gives it down. And Harris looks to be fouled here. That foul is on Braylon Mullins. First foul on him. Inbound over to Harris now, and another quick foul here. That's Dylan Moles who gets whistled for the foul. 2 quick fouls within 2 minutes of this first quarter for the Cougars.
Already down 2 fouls. I think Central should, or Muncie Central should definitely take advantage of that. Already 2 minutes in, and they got 2 fouls.
Over on the wing, here's Olam. Double teamed here as he tries to go in, and he's trapped over on the corner, able to find number 12, McNabb out there. And here's Harris, now the Bearcats' leading scorer, kicks it over to McNabb. Now to Olam, driving baseline. And Olam is fouled, so that's already 3 fouls on Greenfield Central. Something to look out for early here. It's Braden Robertson. His first foul. Here's McNabb. McNabb averages 3 points a game this season. Hands it off to Harris. Jump shot from the free throw line is made. Daniel Harris on the board early here. Saw him score 13 points against Burris in their win, 46-30. Daniel Harris averages 15 points a game. And now Daniel Harris comes up with the steal. Fast break. All alone in the backcourt and gets it, but a tough fall on the other end. He seemed maybe to fall on his upper back, maybe head region. And that's going to be really tough for Central if he can't get up here, but he's getting up slowly here. Hope everything's okay again. Daniel Harris averaging 15.3 points a game. Central's leading scorer, also shooting 54% from the field. As those looks like a tough fall, maybe hit his head on the court. Hope everything's okay with him. But Central doing a good job here after falling behind early 6-0 to Greenfield Central, as Harris able to walk on his own strength back to the Central's bench. Hope everything's all right with him, but score right now is 6-4 in favor for Greenfield Central. 2 quick three-pointers in that first quarter. And Muncie Central does a really good job of coming back here. We saw Daniel Harris there get that steal as he's going to walk back to the locker room, holding his head. We're hoping all the best for him. He's just such a fun player to watch, has tremendous athleticism. He's a really fun player to watch, and on that fast break, he's just such an athletic player, able to jump so high and score that there, but Greenfield Central gets the ball back here. Over to the corner, three-point try from the corner is no good. Offensive rebound underneath, kicks it back out to Moles. Deep three-point shot, no good. And another board on the offensive side. Putback shot, this time is still no good. And Central finally comes down with the ball. It's McNabb running the floor. He slows it down, hands it off to Young. Back to McNabb on the corner, and a foul. No, a travel will be called. Thought a foul was going to be called on maybe an offensive foul as one of the Greenfield Central players went tumbling to the ground, but it's actually going to be a turnover on Muncie Central.
And Muncie Central got away there, allowing a couple offensive rebounds. Cannot allow that to happen, as we've seen a couple times tonight that once the offensive rebounds start to build up, that's going to cost your team a lot.
4.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Still 6-4. Driving inside, out to the corner. Inside again, and another tough play. This has been a really high-intensity physical game. But a traveling violation called on Greenfield Central. They turn it right back over. Olam will inbound. And then another traveling call. So 3 straight plays we've had a traveling violation. It went Greenfield Central travel, then Muncie Central travels right here again. So Dylan Moles controls the ball for the Cougars in the backcourt. Looking to extend their lead here. Driving inside is Moles, no-look pass. Outside, no good. Rebound hauled in by Gore. Antonio Gore averages 5 rebounds a game for Muncie Central. Leads the team in that category. Bounce pass taken away. Has it stolen now. Fast break for the Cougars. And ball knocked out of bounds, and it will be a turnover on Greenfield Central. This game has been really high paced so far. A lot of fast breaks, a lot of the scoring coming on fast breaks. Muncie Central looking to tie the game up here. 3-point shot from Olam. Rattles around and falls. Josiah Olam gives the Bearcats their first lead of the night. They lead 7-6 here. Josiah Olam, he averages 11 points a game. 44% from the field. Moles, inside shot, makes it, and a foul will be called. Not sure if that will be good, so an and one called there. And the foul will be called on DeMarcus Cole. Moles converts the 3-point play. Greenfield Central reclaims their lead. Here's McNabb. Over to Young now. McNabb again. Tries to give it over to Olam. Moles almost picks that pass off, but it'll roll out of bounds. Olam. 2.5 minutes to play here. Josiah Olam. Top of the key now going inside to Gore and scores. And Antonio Gore will pick up the foul for Muncie Central. It's Moles gives it off. 2 minutes to play here in the first period. Very back and forth scoring effort here from both teams so far. Moles surveys the offense. Guarded closely by Olam. Under 2 minutes to play here. Over on the corner now, driving inside. Mid-range, and a travel will be called. Another turnover by Greenfield Central. A lot of traveling on both teams here so far. A lot of just unnecessary turnovers. This is Cook, top of the key. Goes over to Olam. Olam drives inside, kicks it back out to Cook. Cook over to Gore on the baseline. He'll drive inside, but has it poked away by Greenfield Central. Now a fast break for them. Here's Kirkhoff, hands it off. Now over to Moles. Moles pulls up from three-point land and drains it. That's Dylan Moles. He had 2 3-pointers in the early game, had 18 points. That's his first tonight. He has 6 points here. Under a minute to play now. Greenfield Central leading 12-7 here. The first quarter starting to wind down as Young cuts to the basket. What a move by Princeton Young to just effortlessly make his way to the basket. Drop in the easy layup. Now 30 seconds to play here. Greenfield Central leading by 3. They'll try to make it a 2-possession game at the break. Here's Moles on the corner with 5 seconds left. His three-pointer is no good. Now Young, just a second left. Last second attempt from Olam is no good. First quarter ends with a score of 12-9. Before we talk about what has happened in that first quarter, we'll talk about our presenting sponsor, Pizza King. Pizza King opened its first location in Muncie, Indiana in 1958. Today we have 56 locations and over 1,100 employees across eastern Indiana. Our passion is providing a family atmosphere with exceptional customer service and pizza that is good to the very edge. Pizza King cultivates positive relationships with our employees, customers, and communities while providing the highest quality of products. Back here in tonight's game, it's the 12-9 score. It's been very back and forth between these two teams. Both offenses working very well, but it's been a lot of turnovers, a lot of careless turnovers, mostly traveling here. What have you kind of seen from both the offenses? Obviously a very high-paced game so far in this early in this game.
Yeah, like you said, the high intensity has been a big factor. I think that goes into a lot of the traveling. It's just then a lot of just being antsy really with the ball. You want to make that move, and with how fast this game has been moving, you got to be fast, but looks like they're just taking that extra step before putting the ball down. So both teams really got to figure it out, find a way to kind of calm the pace down a little bit, make sure you get the ball down before you take that extra step, and not have as many turnovers as you have been so far tonight.
And Greenfield Central will start out with possession in the second quarter. It looks like maybe we weren't ready yet. Greenfield Central hanging on to a 3-point lead. Muncie Central ended up leading by 1 at one point in that first quarter. Their only lead, but it's been Greenfield Central since then. We're still awaiting what's going to happen here, and it looks like Central was actually supposed to start with possession here in the second quarter. So Muncie Central looking to cut this lead down for the Cougars. Here's Olam. Back out to Young, over to Cook now. On the corner here is Olam. Back to Cook. On the corner, skip pass over to Cook. Now to Olam. Olam driving inside, kicks it down and scores. That's Prince Young.
And that's great ball movement from Muncie Central to keep those extra passes up to get the best shot possible.
Prince Young has 4 points now. And Muncie Central comes down with it again, looking to take the lead here. Olam almost has it taken away. Here's Young near the logo. Over to Cole. Back to Young now. Here's Cook. Tries to go to the corner, has his pass tipped away. Stays with Muncie Central. Antonio Gore will come into the game for Muncie Central. Antonio Gore, one of the taller players playing here today. 6'4". One of those guys who's very versatile. Able to get inside, uses height effectively to score, and on the defensive end also makes his presence felt. Cook will inbound. 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. It's been very back and forth here for both offenses. But it's the Cougars who lead by 1. It's Cook inside, kicks it out to Young. Three-point shot from Olam from way downtown. What about Josiah Olam? That's his second three-pointer. And he has really gotten it going from outside. It's really been some of the guys for Muncie Central like Princeton Young who have been able to drive inside, and then Josiah Olam has the hot hand as of late. It's the second three-pointer, that one coming from way outside. Here's Dylan Moles, Greenfield Central's leading scorer, averaging 21 points a game. Step back three from Moles, no good, left it too short, and Gore pulls down the rebound. Now here's the fast break, kicks it out. That's a tremendous find to Olam. Can't knock down the shot, but that is a really good play by Surf to kick it out to Olam. And if they can keep doing that, having that selflessness and that type of ball movement, they're going to start scoring more points there. Definitely tough that Joey Olam couldn't knock that shot down, but that was just a really nice play by Surf. Here's Young, over to Cook now. Young over to Surf now, he's double teamed. Back to Young, now to Cook. Cook drives inside, tries to give it off, and now here's Cook. Can't hold on to it. Moles trapped in the corner, tries to pass it out, but Young takes it right back. Princeton Young with the steal and score. He has 6 points here and is tied with Josiah Olam as leading scorer for Muncie Central. Driving inside, pass taken away nearly by Olam. That was intended for Mullins. All of a sudden, Muncie Central out in front. 5-point lead here. Here's Moles. Moles drives in, over on the corner. 4.5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Screen set, driving inside, over on the corner now. Fakes the three-pointer, hands it back off. Back to Moles now. Over to Kirchhoff, guarded by Young. Kirchhoff gets the screen and loses the ball out of bounds. Great defense by Muncie Central. They have really done really nicely on both ends of the floor here, playing lockdown defense and able to move the ball around very effectively. And looks like Greenfield Central might take a timeout here. And so Muncie Central leads 16-12 after trailing most of this first half. They've really come out here and shown off some spectacular defense, forcing a lot of Greenfield Central turnovers. And then on the other end, it's been Josiah Olam. He has 2 3-pointers here, and Princeton Young, who's also just forced that steal one of those last couple of possessions, forced the steal, put it right back up, and scored the basket. What have you thought of just really Muncie Central's play as a total here so far? They've really been able to kind of set the pace here in this second quarter, been kind of leading the floor here.
Yeah, they've really gained momentum here, especially the second quarter. And I've seen their student sections really shown out here the second quarter, helping with their momentum. And they've been showing no signs of slowing down, definitely keeping up on the defensive end. We've seen a lockdown defense the last few possessions, some steals, fast breaks, and Muncie Central's really found a way to move the ball effectively. They've found a lot of extra passes that turn into just wide open shots. So Muncie Central has shown no signs of slowing down, and I don't think they will.
Central going to get the ball here out of the break, looking to continue this nice offensive run that they've put up here. It's Cook over to McNabb now, top of the key. Over to Cook again. Under 4 minutes to play here. Pass tipped away, nearly taken, but Gore recovers it. Pass now to Cook inside, jumping up with the right hand, and he's able to knock it down. So Greenfield Central's just trying to find anything on this offensive side. Really been shut down by Muncie Central. There's a corner 3-point shot, and that'll do it for them. That's Braylon Mullins, who's able to get his second 3-pointer of the night. Greenfield Central cuts it within 3. Here's McNabb, bounce pass underneath, back out to Cook. Tries to go underneath to Cole again, and it's going to be off of Antonio Gore. So Greenfield Central a chance to bring it in even closer with 3 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the second quarter. Here's Moles, leading scorer for Greenfield Central, averaging around 21 points a game. Spectacular shooter as well. Saw him have 2 threes in that earlier game against Bishop Chatard. Over on the wing, near side, tapped out of bounds by Cole, and that's some great defense. Central still showing that lockdown defense that they've played really well in this second quarter. As Cook will take a rest on the bench. He's been very good for Central here so far, showing a lot of effort and getting a score even on a nice floater move inside. Dylan Moles now. Pulls up from 3-point range, rattles in, rattles out, and rebound is pulled down by Josiah Olam. Fast break now for Muncie Central. Olam driving inside, heavily contested out to McNabb for 3. Can't get it to go, left it too long. Rebound batted around and taken by Greenfield Central. They go on the offensive. Pull-up 3-point shot is made. That's Mullins again. He already has 3-pointers, 9 points. So far tonight, he had 9 in our earlier game. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. This game is all knotted up again. Greenfield Central has done a really good job to get their offensive mojo back. Here's McNabb driving inside, has it almost taken away by Moles, and it's actually going to be off of McNabb. I thought that might have rolled off of Moles, but they're going to say it came off of McNabb, and Greenfield Central will control the ball here with 1:37 left in the second quarter, looking to jump out to a lead that they had earlier in this contest. Deep 3-point shot, no good, too short. DeMarcus Cole pulls down the rebound. Here is Olam now. Driving inside, hop step goes up with the left hand and is fouled on the attempt with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here. And no, it's actually going to be a turnover, so it's going to be Greenfield Central's ball. Mullins will inbound to Moles. Dylan Moles driving inside. Pulls back out. Over to Mullins. Drives inside. Tough shot at the rim. No good. Rebound batted out of bounds off of Desjardins. 53.7 left in this first half. Both teams still knotted up at 18. Here's Olam, has it nearly taken away. Wasn't looking, didn't expect Braylon Mullins to come up that quickly, but Muncie Central will keep the ball here. Antonio Gore takes a little bit of a rest. He's been very effective on the defensive end for Muncie Central. Pass underneath now. Back out to McNabb. Over to Olam now. Here's McNabb near the logo. Guarded tightly by Mullins. Double teamed now. Gets it over to Cole. Just about 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter. It's McNabb. Looking for an option, has it knocked away temporarily, but Olam recovers it in the backcourt. Olam now driving inside, and there is a carrying called there on Olam driving to the basket. So 6 seconds on the clock exactly for Greenfield Central to try to take a halftime lead. Here's Mullins. Spin move driving inside, passes it off to his teammate. What a great find to beat the buzzer by Dylan Moles to find Desjardins. And that's just a really good find. It shows off the selflessness from Dylan Moles. Just a really nice play by Greenfield Central to take a halftime lead of 20-18. Thought there might have been a foul there, but there will not be, so we will go really quickly to an ad break real quick, in fact. So we'll be right back after this.
Burning inside me, satisfied by just one thing. So I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
And so as special guests on our halftime show. We have Braden Matheny and Gavin Smith's son Bursiaga, who played for Coach Olam on the undefeated Monroe Central team. And guys, why don't you tell us about some of your experiences with Coach Olam and how he pushed you guys to your best?
You want me? Okay. First off, I just want to say no practice was easy at all. We would go into games confident and perform, and it just got our confidence up, and that was a big help. And
yeah, I mean, Coach Olam is a great coach.
Yeah,
definitely.
Really, Muncie Central couldn't have hired a better coach. He's just a great guy, really, and he's always going to care about the kids, and him and his wife are just great people.
Great family. All the Olam boys are great.
Yeah.
Where should we start? Just this tone of the season. You think we go? Okay,
yeah.
no, I got it. I know.
Go ahead.
So, start the season. We had a jamboree against Wapahani, who's like our rival school, and we played awful. I mean, terrible. It's just a half of basketball, but we played horrible. And it was like one of those things where it's like, well, it might just be another like average season. Never know. But that week of practice after the jamboree, I mean, was miserable.
Yeah, I mean,
and was miserable. And I think that really started the season, or set like the tone, because that week alone made so many players more tough. And
and that's a big thing for Coach Olam, is just toughness. Like, he always wants you guys to be the first on the floor, and I mean, you can definitely see that with this Muncie Central team this year.
Definitely.
That hustle and defense and rebounding, that is, I mean, that week we probably, it was like 2 hours every day of
straight
just
rebounding
defense,
drills, straight defense
drills, getting on the floor. I mean, I got like he crushed my ankle one time, and I still got a scar from it. It's bad. But
no, just playing for Coach Olam just makes you a tougher guy.
Definitely.
yeah, I mean, there's no easy part of the season, honestly. But we didn't really know how good we were until, what you say, the Connorsville?
Yeah.
When we went down to Connorsville, beat them when they were number 1 in 3A. And then
well, I mean, even going into it, we were undefeated, obviously. We were having a good year already, but Coach Olam there was never any doubt in his mind, it felt like, that we could go in there and beat 2 huge schools. And, you know, if at any point we weren't feeling it, we were like, maybe we're not good enough for this. Coach Olam, I mean, he was right there, and just, hey, no, if we focus on it's the cliches, but like toughness, hustle, rebounding, defense, like if we focus on that, we'll be good. And it worked out.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on here. It was great to have you. Unexpected special guests on here, but it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming on here, telling us your experiences with Coach Olam.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Definitely. All right, back here just a bit until we get started here. We're going to go over a couple of our presenting sponsors. First is Integrity Fulfillment Services. IFS is a local company with a wide range of clients throughout the United States. We are a value-added company providing services ranging from a packaging of materials to a full inspection and audit of materials before they arrive to store shelves. IFS is based in the near downtown area of Muncie and is a proud sponsor of many community events. Greenfield Central starts out with the ball coming into this third quarter, leading by 2. So there's a quick shot near the rim, no good. Olam Here's Olam now. Here's McNabb. Now to the near-sided corner, back to McNabb, over to Olam. Deep three-point shot, no good, off the back of the rim. And Muncie Central gets it right back. Here's Surf, over to McNabb again, top of the key. Here is McNabb over to Surf again, back to McNabb. 7 minutes, a minute has drained off the clock here. So Greenfield Central's defense holding strong so far. Over to McNabb, now Surf driving inside. No lane to the basket. Central resets and tries again. Here's Surf for 3, no good. And it's rebounded by Kirkhoff. Tyler Kirkhoff has a three-pointer already here so far. Had 4 of them in the earlier game. Deep three-point try. Again, that's Mullins again. That's 4 three-pointers for him. He has 12 points now. First player in double figures tonight. Muncie Central will take a timeout. It's really just been Braylon Mullins has really led the charge for Greenfield Central. He's just lit it up from three-point range. 4 threes already, and they're going to need that because this Central defense is very tough in the interior. We kind of mentioned a little bit about Antonio Gore, 6'4", underneath there. A big task to try and get up and around, so it's going to be a big task for Greenfield Central to try and get most of their shots and points from outside the arc.
And Greenfield Central has done a great job so far tonight doing that. And going into halftime, they took the momentum and they have kept it so far going into the second half. So definitely looking forward to seeing them if they keep that up or if Muncie Central could regain that momentum.
Central has the ball here, under 6.5 minutes to play in the third, trailing by 5. Pass knocked away, recovered by McNabb. McNabb trapped in the double team, has his pass temporarily knocked away. Now a fast break for Greenfield Central at the other end of the floor. Here's Moles, and I believe an and one will be called here as Moles able to get the shot down. The foul was on McNabb. Dylan Moles again, I believe this is his second time converting an and one. He does so. Dylan Moles has 9 points, had 18 earlier against Bishop Chatard as Olam from mid-range knocks it down. I'll tell you what, Josiah Olam has really perfected the high percentage shots. He can go inside, take those mid-rangers, and he can also hit them from outside when he's open from 3. He's just a very smart player. You can tell that he's worked a lot in practice on those high IQ shots. Here's Moles now, 5.5 minutes to play. Greenfield Central leads by 6. Moles averages 21 points a game. He pulls up from mid-range and knocks it down. Dylan Moles makes it look easy in the tough defense. He has 11 points now. And a steal here again from Greenfield Central, able to get the defense up and running here early in the second half. Here's Moles again at the logo. McNabb guarding closely. Again, a jump shot from mid-range. That one can't fall. Now here's McNabb running the floor for Muncie Central. Over to Olam for three. No good off the back of the rim, but the offensive board pulled in, and a foul on the play. Great effort there underneath the basket from DeMarcus Cole. Pulls down the rebound and draws the foul. It's Braden Robertson. Second foul. Cole will shoot two. First shot is good. Second shot is up and no good. 1 for 2 from the line. So Central trails by 7 here with 4.5 minutes to play here in the third. Moles kicks it down. Here's Mullins going up. Can't get it to fall. And Gore pulls down the rebound. Here's Cook. Bounce pass over to Olam. Olam drives inside, has his pass taken away. Now a fast break for Greenfield Central. Moles going all the way and is fouled on his layup attempt on the other end. Shooting foul coming up for Moles. That's Princeton Young's first foul. Moles' first shot is too short. He misses. Moles goes 0 for 2 from the line and is rebounded by Olam. Here's Olam, top of the key, driving inside. Mid-range shot is up and blocked. Rebound fought for and taken by Cole, I believe. Still a loose ball on the ground. Greenfield Central comes up with it. Now a three. Kirchhoff can't get it to fall. And Gore pulls down the rebound again. Antonio Gore has been the main rebounder for Muncie Central in the second half. It's been very important. As the pass knocked away by Moles, Olam regains control. Open man on the corner. Here's Young for three. He knocks it down. As Princeton Young, he had 1 3 on the 12 o'clock game, has another one tonight. Princeton Young is at 9 points here tonight. Here's Kirchhoff. Guarded by Cook. Pass now to Mullins. Over to Mullins for three. No good. And rebounded by Cole. Joey Olam controls it for Muncie Central, down by 4. Olam pulls up from three. No. Bounces a second time, doesn't go. And Mullins, or not Mullins, that's Moles. Pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Moles no-look pass. Here's Mullins for three. No good. Bounces out. Here is Cook now, who pulls it down for Muncie Central. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here in the third. Central again trying to get it down to a one-possession game. Pass over to Young. Now down to Gore, able to muscle his way to the paint and score. Makes it a 2-point game. And the Cougars will take a timeout. So out through this timeout, Muncie Central able to get back into this game. Started to maybe lose it a little bit, but able to get right back into it on Antonio Gore. What about Antonio Gore? Obviously showing his factor on the defensive end, pulling down a majority of rebounds, but he's able to muscle his way and get his first score of the night. Couldn't come at a better time as we're under 2 minutes to play here in the third, and Central just trying to keep up with Greenfield Central. So what have you kind of thought of Central's offense here so far in this third quarter? Obviously, we saw Olam there also. His playmaking ability has been absolutely spectacular so far to find Young over in that corner. That's just a really good find. And, yeah, the passing has just been on sync for Muncie Central here in this third quarter.
Yeah, we've really seen them take control here coming down the final minutes of the third quarter, knocking down shots, like you said. A lot of passes, the ball movement's been insane, getting a lot of open looks. So Muncie Central has been in a good spot as they now retake that momentum. They didn't have it there beginning of the third quarter as Greenfield Central knocked down a lot of threes and the student section was quiet. But now that they're loud and have momentum, Muncie Central has really been back into this game.
Here's Moles. He has 11 points here tonight, averages 21. Just about a minute and 40 seconds here to go in this third quarter. Passes over to Mullins, driving inside, foul on the play, on the floor. It's going to be on DeMarcus Cole. Mullins will inbound from the baseline over to Moles. Minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Here's Moles, gets the screen. Drives to his right, but it looks like a moving screen will be called on number 24. That's Braylon Mullins. DeMarcus Cole inbounds it over to McNabb. Here's Young. And a fight for the ball taken away by Greenfield Central. 2-on-3 fast break. Going up with the right hand, no good. And loose ball goes out of bounds. And will stay with the Cougars. Greenfield Central leads by 2 with a minute left on the clock here. Inbound over outside on the wing. Here's Moles. Under a minute to play now. Moles near the logo. He's guarded by Olam. Over to Mullins now. Moles again starting to drive inside. Tries to kick it over, but it falls out of bounds. And it's going to go Central's way with 31.6 on the clock. Isaiah Surf comes into the game for Antonio Gore. And Will DeJarnette in for Greenfield Central. 30 seconds to play here with McNabb. Over to Olam now. And it looks like Muncie Central will try to drain the clock down, hold for last shot of the quarter. Back to Olam now. Olam averages 11.3 points per game. He kicks it over to Young. Back to Olam now. Olam driving inside, up with the right hand. The floater makes it look easy. And that's the end of the third quarter. Josiah Olam putting together heck of a game so far. He has just been completely spectacular here as of late. What have you kind of thought from Josiah Olam's play here tonight, just kind of getting it done from everywhere?
Yeah, his defense has been insane, and offensively he's been really good at shot creating and shot making. He's been a big part for the Muncie Central Bearcats.
And so we'll go over one of our other sponsors, Whittinger and Company, founded in 1930 and with offices in Muncie and Fishers. Whittinger and Company has been one of Indiana's leading accounting, tax, and advisory firms for more than 93 years. We're much more than a traditional CPA firm, as we offer a comprehensive set of services to meet the needs of individuals, nonprofit organizations, and corporate clients across Indiana. Thank you to them for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Again, long day of basketball here. Every team here has played at least two games here, and Muncie Central beating Burris 46-30 earlier. Greenfield Central beat Indianapolis Bishop Chatard 50-49 in a real nail-biter. So both of these teams also in a real nail-biter as well. It's a tied up going into the fourth quarter. Should be a very exciting finish to the game to determine the winner of today's tournament. It'll be Central starting out with possession. Brady McNabb will inbound to Olam. We're underway for the fourth quarter of action. Should be a close one here in the historic Muncie Central Fieldhouse. Josiah Olam now near the logo. Over to McNabb. Double teamed now. Driving inside over to the corner for three. No good. Rebound pulled down by Young. He goes up again, strong with the right hand, gets the and one to fall. Princeton Young, are you kidding me? He has just been everywhere tonight, showcasing the strength, and gets the and one here. That foul was on Will DeJournette. That's Princeton Young. That got him into double figures. He has 11 points now, able to jump out to a Bearcats 3-point lead with 7.5 minutes to go here. Every point counts here in the later stages of this game. It's been really back and forth most of this entire game. Both teams really competitive. Here's Young to convert the and one. No good. And Central will hold on to a 2-point lead. It's Greenfield Central with Moles here. To the corner to Kirchhoff for three. He makes it. Tyler Kirchhoff has his second three, had 4 of them in the earlier game against Bishop Chatard. Here's McNabb near the logo. Over to Young, now to Olam, driving inside. Pass batted away. Greenfield Central on the attack now. Open to the corner to Moles for three. Bang! Puts it in! Greenfield Central takes a 1-point lead on Dylan Moles' clutch three-pointer. He has 2 of them here today. Leading scorer for Greenfield Central. 6.5 minutes to go. Here's Brady McNabb. That was to take a 4-point lead. Josiah Olam now over to Young on the corner. Now to McNabb, open man on the corner. To return the favor, can't fall. Greenfield Central pulls the rebound right back down, and Mullins will get fouled here on the floor.
Muncie Central, that last offensive possession is they did what they've been doing the entire game. They've, again, those extra passes. McNabb had it open 3, but he gave it off to someone else for even better 3-point percentage shot.
There's Dylan Moles cutting to the basket, and yeah, the Bearcats offense has all today has been just really good playmakers all around, all finding the open man on the wing. No matter what, Josiah Olam saw him have a couple of great passes, but that one is taken away by Mullins. Fast break, nice move in the post, and he gets that one to fall. Now Olam on the offensive, right back on the other side of the court, and a timeout by Muncie Central, as it is a Greenfield Central lead, 36-32, and it's been high paced all night. But this fourth quarter in particular, these first around 2.5 minutes have been very high paced, back and forth, And that timeout, I can guarantee you, is probably to give the players a little bit of a fresh breath, maybe taking a deep breath here, because it's been very high-paced here, very offensive here. And really, Muncie Central, they just got to keep up with that playmaking ability. They trail by 4 here with 5 minutes, 41 seconds. It's Greenfield Central coming out the huddle.
Thing I noticed so far this whole game is really it's been trends of who's has momentum and who's really winning. We've seen it's been going back and forth. If Greenfield Central is getting a momentum, they're usually getting a lead. If Muncie Central is getting momentum, they usually get the lead. So really, I think it's going to come down to who has the momentum the last few minutes.
Ball gets tapped out of bounds. It will stay with Greenfield Central. Inbound to Moles. Here's Kirkhoff. Top of the key. Driving inside now. Open lane to the basket. Up with the right hand, or left hand that is. And Owen Anderson has his first score of the game. Gives the Cougars a nice 6-point cushion here. 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Pass over to Joey Olam. Here's McNabb. Bounce pass back to Olam. Gets the screen, drives inside, tries to give it underneath. And a foul on the play. It's going to be on Muncie Central. And DeMarcus Cole, something to look out for here. DeMarcus Cole has 4 fouls, nearing that point where he's going to foul out. He hasn't scored yet today. No, he scored 1 point here today, but he's been a big factor for the Bearcats defense. Don't want to lose him here. Kirkhoff, deep 3-point shot, makes it. What a shot by Tyler Kirkhoff. That's 3 3-pointers here for him, and gives Greenfield Central a nice 9-point lead. That's probably the biggest shot we've seen here tonight in this game. That went from a 6-point lead to a 9-point lead, and that can change a lot, especially in these later stages of the game. And really, we've seen Greenfield Central, their 3-point shooting ability is something to just observe with your own eyes. It's truly just incredible. We have Braylon Mullins with 4 3-pointers. Tyler Kirkhoff just hit his 3rd, and Dylan Moles has 2. Those trio of guards have just done incredible on the scoring department today. What have you got to say on their play so far tonight, Drew?
I mean, Greenfield Central, they really found their momentum here these last few minutes. They've really found the right time to get hot, too. Coming into a fourth quarter with a very close game, you know, around 1-possession game, and now it's up to a 3-possession game. So they've really found the right time to start knocking down these shots, and they're really silencing the Central's stadium, really. I mean, they've found a way to just take momentum, especially, I mean, we've seen this crowd go crazy a lot so far tonight, so to keep doing what you're doing and you're knocking down these 3-point shots, I mean, it's crazy how good this Greenfield team is.
So Muncie Central will get the ball just under 4.5 minutes to play here, looking to get some offense going here. They're starting to give up that Greenfield Central scoring run. Here's McNabb over to Young. Young bounce pass over to the baseline, back to McNabb. And ball knocked away, nearly a turnover. Brady McNabb recovers. 4 minutes to play here in the fourth. Deep 3-point shot from Young, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound fought for. Moles ends up coming down with it. Now Greenfield Central on the attack. Here's Mullins for 3. He puts it in. Braylon Mullins is catching on fire tonight. He has 5 3-pointers. And boy, he has just had the hand tonight. Again, we talked about that trio of guards, Mullins, Kirkhoff, and Moles. Those 3-point shooters can really get it done. Here's Young for 3 now. Can't answer back, but the offensive rebound under the basket knocked away, and then the foul and 1. That's DeMarcus Cole. that foul was on Owen Anderson. DeMarcus Cole has an opportunity to bring it within single digits again. To convert the three-point play, he gets it. Greenfield Central, their lead cut back down to 9. Here's Moles. Moles at the logo, guarded toughly by Olam. Hands it off to Kirchhoff. Kirchhoff drives inside, bounce pass underneath, pump fakes, and a foul. That's a great job by number 11, Will Desjardins, to draw the foul underneath the basket, and we'll get 2 shots at the line. That's McNabb's second foul. Central has 6 total team fouls in this half, nearing that mark of the bonus. We're at 3 minutes left in this fourth quarter. First shot is good. Second shot up and good. Desjardins goes 2 for 2 from the line. He has 4 points in total. Here's Cook over to Olam, out to the corner for 3. No good from the corner, but the long rebound by Olam, he puts it back up. No, and Gore can't get it, but it is out of bounds off of Greenfield Central. Cook will inbound it. Over to Surf, now to Olam. Over on the corner. Olam top of the key, 2.5 minutes to go here. Muncie Central trails by 11. Really have to get some offense going quick, as tough play at the rim blocked by Anderson. Muncie Central will still have possession here. Under 2.5 minutes to play here in the fourth. We'll have a timeout called. It's going to be called by Muncie Central. So Central trailing by 11, having a bit of a scoring drought going on right now, and they really have to find it quickly because an 11-point deficit, you only have 2.5 minutes to go here. You really have to find some scoring. And let's talk about this guard trio so far. These three-point shooters, especially Braylon Mullins, who just knocked down his 5th three-pointer of the night, has had just a spectacular night from shooting. What have you got to say about this trio of three-point shooters on Greenfield Central?
I mean, like I said earlier, they found the right time to get hot. I mean, it seems here this fourth quarter, every shot they've been taking has been going in. It's been automatic so far tonight, and they've definitely been, again, getting hot in the right times. They are making this Bearcats team work defensively, especially without Daniel Harris, who's went out the first quarter. So it's definitely been a tough task for the Bearcats defensively. But again, there's still 2.5 minutes left. Anything could happen. So yeah, the Bearcats got to find a way to start knocking down shots.
So 2.5 minutes to play here for the Bearcats. Inbounding is Cook. Underneath to Gore, back out to Cook. Over to Olam now. On the baseline, driving inside. Tough move at the rim, no good, but a foul on the play. That's Owen Anderson picking up his second foul. It's 5 total team fouls for Greenfield Central. First free throw is up and no good for DeMarcus Cole. DeMarcus Cole has 4 fouls of his own, in danger of fouling out as he goes 0 for 2 from the line. And Mullins pulls down the rebound. Braylon Mullins has 17 points here right now. He had 9 points in the first game. Here's Mullins. Back over to Kirkhoff. And I believe a foul called on the Bearcats here. That's going to be on Antonio Gore. So with that foul, Greenfield Central now in the bonus. Shooting a 1-and-1 free throw is Desjardins. His first shot is good. Makes it a 12-point Cougar lead under 2 minutes to play. Second shot is good. It's a 13-point Cougar lead. Here's Olam over to Cook now. Cook has his pass taken away by Moles. Fast break now with Moles, goes up with the left hand and puts it in. And that could very well be the dagger here. 15-point lead now for Greenfield Central. Moles almost picks another pass off. Then cutting to the rim is Cook. Cook has 4 points. Under a minute and a half now with Greenfield Central leading by 13. They'll look to try to drain as much time as they can. Here's Mullins. Guarded by Cole, and that's going to be it for Cole. He just picked up his 5th foul of the night. That's going to be a big asset the Bearcats are going to have to replace. DeMarcus Cole fouls out with 1 point tonight, but a lot of his impact has come on the rebounding and defensive side of the basketball. 1-and-1 shot for Braylon Mullins. First shot is good for Mullins. Second shot is good. And Mullins is up to 19 points now, leading scorer for Greenfield Central. Minute left on the clock. Here's the quick jump shot from mid-range, rolls around and falls for Isaiah Surf. Under a minute to play, it's a 13-point Greenfield Central lead. Comfortable cushion here. Kirkhoff here in the backcourt looks to try to drain as much time off the clock as he can. Here's Moles now. He's going to be fouled intentionally by Cook. 42.3 left in the game. So 1-and-1 for Dylan Moles. First shot is no good. Rebound fought for, and Gore comes down with it. So Central, with 40 seconds here, looks to try to get anything to fall here. Going to have to go really quickly if they want any chance to get anything here, but I think the scoring from these trio of guards that we've talked about has been just too powerful, as there's another steal by Greenfield Central. .8 on the clock here. With the game winding down here, Greenfield Central will put an entire new lineup in. Looking like Greenfield Central here is going to take it.
I mean, like I said, this whole fourth quarter is Greenfield Central. They found a way to, or found the right time to get hot, as it's been pretty back and forth until really this fourth quarter. And yeah, Greenfield Central just kept the momentum the entire time.
Here's McNabb on the logo, kicks it over to the wing. Now to the quarter to Surf. Over to Olam, now gets the screen. Driving inside out to the corner again. Surf for three, too short. But he stepped out before, I believe. or no, that's going to be a foul. 12.4 left on the clock here. First shot is up and no good. Second shot about ready here. That one is good. LJ Strange and Higgs will come into the game for Muncie Central. Third shot is made. Under 5 seconds to play here. And that'll be it from here. It's the final score of Greenfield Central taking this one 52-41. Good effort by Muncie Central in that second half, but in that fourth quarter, it was just Greenfield Central's guard trio that pulled away, and just tremendous shooting all around for Greenfield Central. And I'll let you kind of go over your player of the game and play of the game here in our postgame show.
Yeah, so I got Braylon Mullins as player of the game. He was one of those 3 guards from Greenfield Central that was knocking down a lot of shots. He had a lot of big threes for him, and he was really a big part of that fourth quarter for him to get the lead. And really, I guess player of the game would just be really just any three-point shot really in that fourth quarter from the whole Greenfield Central team, as they really that really just gave them that momentum boost that they need, and gave them all the confidence that they needed to pull away here in this fourth quarter.
And for Muncie Central, leading the way was Princeton Young with 13 points. We saw the high intensity from Princeton Young, just able to muscle his way into the paint. One of those guards, it's rare that you see it where such a one of the smaller guys on the court is one of the guys who ends up being one of the leading guys who drive the paint and go up strong with the right hand, you know. And we saw it plenty of times, even got one of those and ones as well and converted it. So led by Princeton Young with 13. Right behind him was Josiah Olam, who was a tremendous playmaker. I'll let you talk a little bit about Josiah Olam, just a very good three-point shooter and also a really good playmaker. Got to see him come out and ball out today. Really fun player to watch.
Yeah, he was a big part of this Muncie Central team. Again, like you said, he knocked down a lot of shots, a lot of deep threes too. A big part of their offense, and he also was a big part of their defense. Just really, he played his role for both sides of the court for this Muncie Central team.
And leading the way for Greenfield Central was Braylon Mullins, had 5 3-pointers, 19 points. Then right behind him was Dylan Moles with 16 points, 2 3-pointers, and Tyler Kirkhoff with 3 3-pointers and 9 points. Will DeJournette had 6 points. Owen Anderson had 2. And yeah, just all around a really good night for Greenfield Central as they get the trophy here in the championship game. All around a really good game, especially for those 3 guards that we just talked about. And we'll take a quick moment to thank our last sponsor on here is Crestview Golf Club. Crestview Golf Club and Mulligan's Clubhouse Grill have proudly served the Muncie community since 1957. Join us for a round of golf or your favorite food and beverage 7 days a week. Find us on Facebook or Instagram. So that's going to be all from here. Again, our final score, Greenfield Central 52, Muncie Central 40. Greenfield Central picking up this trophy alongside with some great performances from their trio of guards. And finally, we want to thank all the great people behind the scenes here that have worked so hard to put on this entire tournament of basketball for you. Burris Broadcast, Burris Sports Network, whatever you'd like to call them. They've put on a great show here today, a full day of basketball. It's been great here. That's all going to be all here from us. It's been me, Jesse Lee, alongside Drew Haney, and that's it from the historic Muncie Central Fieldhouse.